Hello guys, this is Redback Gaming, and today I am talking about my final thoughts about if Sons of the Forest will ever come to the PlayStation 5. So here's what I think. Honestly, I really believe it will eventually. Even though I kind of felt like it, even though it kind of seems like it never will, but I still believe it'll come eventually. But at the time being, I'm just not really focusing on it much anymore at that point. So yeah, the reason why I'm very frustrated with Midnight right now is because it's because of lack of new information about Sons of the Forest of anything at all, really, and not hearing saying if it even is going to be released on the PlayStation 5 or not. Like basically this. Right now, I am currently playing The Forest on my own PS5 right now. I'm actually playing on the PS5 Slim, which is, well, the only difference is the PS5 Slim has greater like storage space than the regular plain PS5, but the hardware and stuff is no different basically. But anyways, back on what I was saying about if Sons of the Forest will come to the PlayStation 5. Like I said, I believe it will, but I'm not currently focused on it. But another reason why I am frustrated with in-night games is because we players on PlayStation bought the first Force game to basically an in-night, and that helped in-night. They basically make the funds to make Sons of the Forest. Of course, when it first came out on early access, I wasn't expecting it to come on PlayStation anytime soon at the time because as you know, PlayStation, well, Sony does not allow early access games on their platform. But the thing is that I wasn't mad. I was waiting, and I understood why. And another thing is, when it finally released, I still waited patiently. When Sons of the Forest finally released, I still waited patiently, and still believing that Sons of the Forest will still eventually come to the PlayStation 5. But now lately we haven't had any new information at all if Sons of the Forest will ever come to the PlayStation 5. So basically this, someone on Reddit or Discord had basically told Innight, had asked Innight actually, that if they are ever gonna release Sons of the Forest on consoles like the PlayStation 5, and a developer there finally responded back to them and said they currently have no plans if Sons of the Forest will ever come. I mean, while they currently have no, they haven't made any progress if Sons of the Forest will come. If they basically have said they haven't made any progress of the PS5 port for Sons of the Forest, and now it's very frustrating to PlayStation players because we helped in Night Fun to make we buy the Force game on PlayStation, and that helped Midnight made a revenue of it, and they were able to use the funds to make Sons of the Forest, like the second spoof of the game, basically. And yeah, and now, like, I understand they are a small developing team, and that can take a long time for Sons of the Forest to release. Like, I understand how for small developing teams, it takes longer for them to release their games on consoles. But the thing is, it's been basically 2.5 years, actually like almost 2 years, that Sons of the Forest has ever has been released, and we PlayStation players felt like that we're still in the dark. Like, I understand why they wouldn't really want to release them on Xbox, because what I know about Xbox is this: if a small developing team like Night were to release their game on Xbox, they're not going to make a revenue on it because from what I heard, Microsoft is basically making small developing teams now, like to basically include it on Game Pass basically, and they won't make a revenue from it. But for platforms like PlayStation, they will because players are able to buy and they're basically are able to make a profit from it. But now, hearing no information, not hearing if the PS5 version will ever get Sons of the Force, we are basically left in the dark, basically. Like, and it just makes us feel like that Night has basically abandoned us, is what it felt like. But there is still hope that I can still play Sons of the Forest. Basically, if y'all haven't heard, Valve has basically made an announcement recently, like a little bit ago, made an announcement about their Steam hardware future. About basically this, I am planning on basically this. They are making a new PC on Steam called the Steam Machine. What it does, it's basically like a console like PC. It's technically a small PC, but you'll be able to actually play the PC on your TV, basically. You'll be able to use that small PC, play it on a TV like a console. You can also play it like a PC, like a normal PC on your monitor, but you can also use the Steam system to play on your TV like a console. So yeah, and plus, I actually checked the hardware to see if it is playable, and guess what? So basically, Sons of the Forest is capable of running on the new Steam machine, basically. Like the Steam's like newer, like small PC, like made by Valve, is going to be coming next year in early 2026 on spring, basically. So I have been thinking about switching over to Steam eventually because I've been really wanting to play Sons of the Forest so bad, basically. And with the new Steam machine coming, I'm actually going to end up getting this because basically this, because I can't get a PC. Well, I mean, I can't afford a PC. Well, technically, I actually can afford it, but the thing is, I don't have a lot of good income. Like I work and I have to pay bills off in it, and it sucks basically. So while I technically can afford it, but I don't have a lot of good income, and I'm still having to save up my money for like the other future basically. But with the new Steam machine, I'm sure Valve is working on like making it like affordable basically because and as a console player, it's a good deal for me basically because I would technically finally have a PC that I can play like a console. Once I get the Steam controller, I'm gonna have to get the new Steam controller with the new Steam machine when they get released. So yeah, and I checked the system requirements. It's GPU and all this stuff, and the graphic cards. It is required to play Sons of the Forest. Like I've done research, it has the requirements that it can run it smoothly. So yeah, while it's slightly less powerful than the PlayStation 5, like I also study about the PlayStation 5's hardware and GPU basically. It's less powerful, but it'll still be able to run the game more smoothly. So yeah, and the PS5 is technically capable of running Sons of the Forest smoothly. So yeah, and that's where when the game finally does release on Steam, when the new Steam machine finally does get released, I'm basically gonna get it, and when Sons of the Forest does come to PS5, I'm eventually going to basically like buy the game on console regardless. If it does come to PlayStation 5, I'm still going to get on PlayStation 5 regardless, but for the time being, once a new Steam machine comes out, I'm going to be getting it soon eventually, like after it comes out, and that's where I can basically play Sons of the Forest on it because at that time I have kind of given up hope on waiting Sons of the Forest for the PlayStation 5, even though I still believe it'll eventually come. I still believe it'll come. So because I'm eventually going to switch to Steam eventually at some point, and with the new Steam machine, it's going to be my keyway to it basically. So I hope you guys understand my point of view and what I believe and know about what the situation is going on. So yeah, when Sons of the Force, if it finally does come to PlayStation, I'm gonna get it. Like I said, I'm getting it regardless. But for the time being, I'm just not going. I'm not focusing on it. So yeah. So I hope you all understand my point of view, and I'm sure you PlayStation players would agree with me. So yeah, you all enjoy the rest of your day and have a good time. And God bless you all.